All right, let me just get this off my chest right now because a lot of y'all are beginning to piss me off here. Especially a lot of you all Canucks out there. You know, you mealy mouse, scaredy, fool Canucks out there. You're beginning to tick me off with this whole coronavirus thing. This whole coronavirus thing, I'm over it. Okay? I'm over it. 100%. And let me just come out and say it now. First of all, coronavirus isn't going anywhere. Coronavirus will never, ever go away. It is here to stay. And I'm going to tell you something. You may not get it today. You may not get it tomorrow. You may not get it next week. You could bolt up and tie yourself up downstairs in your basement for 150 years. You are going to get it at some point. There is no doubt about it. You can hide in your room. You can hide in your basement. You can go up in your attic. You can do anything. Unless you want to build a rocket ship and go onto the moon, you are going to get corona. Now, here's the catch. Most of you who get it are going to survive it. That's just how it is. But it ain't going nowhere. All this talk about we must lock up in our houses, all the businesses must close, all the schools must close, this must close, that must close, everything must be closed. We can't do anything. And now the government, I mean, you already got Europe out there, the French, the Italians, and the Spanish, who have already got their people barricaded up in their houses. And I know some of you, especially some of you older people and some of the women out there, it's older people, it's the boomers and the ladies out there who think that that's actually sensible. But I'm going to tell you something. The government will never, I repeat, never force me to lock up in my house. Never. I would sooner go out there and start rioting before any government, left or right, tells me I have to stay in my house. That is never going to happen. You must be mad. All these populations now having them all locked up in their houses and stuff. Thankfully, they haven't done that here in Canada. They've done it in some parts of the United States, San Francisco, New York City, forcing their people to stay under martial law with police and soldier men with guns up on the street and all this fart foolishness. When since we started living in China? You know, this is what I was afraid of. The government using a crisis to try and control us even more. And some of you idiots out there are actually allowing this to happen. I'll tell you, it's not going to happen with me. I will continue to do whatever I feel, whenever I feel. I'm going to tell you, coronavirus, no matter what we do, will never go anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's going to stay with us for the rest of our life, okay? Until the earth is done. Coronavirus will just be like bird flu, swine flu, H1N1, Zika, Ebola, all of it. It will never go away. It may slow down. But it'll also come back up. Just like flu, sometimes you have bad seasons, sometimes you have good seasons. But it's never going away. So unless you want to stay in your house and lock up for the rest of your life and live like you're in North Korea, you're going to listen to what I have to say and understand that it's not the virus we need to be worried about. It's our government's response to it. Now, you listen to me. Shut your mouth. Don't type any response, because a lot of you guys who try to debate me with these things usually end up talking pure nonsense. And I end up easily tearing you to pieces if I don't tear away your comment already. Just shut your mouth, listen to me, and you may learn something. This is a new thing that's coming out. It's the symptoms are similar to pneumonia. It's spreading quickly, just like the flu spread quickly, and we don't see people going on like this when the flu comes, okay? It's gonna get you one day, maybe not today or tomorrow, but maybe in a few years from now, because it will pop back up, okay? It will come back up. It's a virus. It's been born. It's been created. Chinese bad behavior, bad food, animal handling practices that have created this new virus. It's come about. It's among us now. You can never fully eradicate it. It'll never happen. There will be times when the coronavirus season is worse than others or lighter than others. When the warmer weather hits, it'll go down because viruses can't survive in heat. But it's going to happen. So you can't be all scared and mealy mouse the rest of your life. Now, that's why I'm not so afraid of this virus, because, you know, it kills. It'll kill people who have weak immune systems, just like flu. It'll kill older people, just like flu. I'm sick of explaining this shit to you people. Because I've got some people out there who, when I tell them, listen, I will never allow my government to tell me I have to stay in my house for the rest of my life or for until they say it's necessary. You're dumb. It's usually some old boomer too. Hey, listen, boomers. I know boomers don't like it when I say boomers, just like millennials don't like it when I rip on them. But listen, I'm going to rip on who I need to rip on, okay? Because sometimes you need to hear it. It hurts, but your bad habits need to be heard. You all, as much as you guys love to talk about how you don't trust your government, you guys are the most mealy-mouthed when it comes to your government. Especially if it's a government politician that you support. And then you're going to say, oh, you must be dumb. You want to spread corona. No, it's the fact that I don't want my government using this crisis, which I wouldn't even call it a crisis, but this event to try and control me. Because I know what this thing is about. It's a virus. It's never going to go away. It's never going to go away. It'll kill people every year. So unless we're going to go through this every single damn bloody doggone year, we're going to have to get used to it. The Chinese, if we want to stop these spreads of these viruses, maybe we need to rethink our relationship with China. Because it's China where a lot of these things come from. Maybe we need to start making our own things and manufacturing our own things. Maybe we need to stop listening to people like Maxime Bernier, who pretends to be a nationalist but is an economic globalist who wants free trade with every nation under the sun, and maybe start making our own things and reevaluating our relationship with all these strange type of countries. Because China, I mean, whether this thing was created in China or whether it was created in a market, a dirty market, the fact of the matter is if this nation can cause so much grief, then really our lives are at risk by continuing to allow them into the circle of nations. We need to really, really start evaluating if we don't want to have more of these things coming. But coronavirus is already born. It's done. It's never going away. There will be other viruses that come up. It's just a way of life now. And what I am saying is that if this thing continues, listen, there's only, you can only have people locked up in their houses, not working, the youth not going to school, everything's closed for so long before law and order start to break down. And when that happens, the government will have nobody to blame but themselves. And you know what? I won't judge people who begin to get upset because, listen, the devil finds work for idle hands. Children have been out of school for weeks now. Parents aren't working. People are worried about car payments and credit card payments and mortgages. I mean, and then on top of that, the governments around the world are making more and more people reliant on the government, which is something that everybody should be afraid of. Handing out this amount of money and that amount of money. I mean, yes, I've always said that, if you're going to hand out any money, you need to give us our money back. I've explained the process of giving us our money back. But when you have all these people reliant on government money, it's a system of even more control. So people aren't working. People aren't going to school. People are afraid to go outside. And they're all reliant on the government. This is a socialistic wet dream. And on top of that, people are still not getting their money back. This is all government money. This isn't our money. This isn't the royalties from a crown corporation or dividends from a stock that a government's owning, that's our money. Or money that the government received from selling off some company, that's our money. This is government money, which they can cut off at any time. So, this is a classic socialistic wet dream that we are living under. And I'm going to tell you, law and order is going to break down soon. Law and order is just a matter of time. You got all these children from 1 to 18 off of school, not doing anything. Most of the parents are probably not even, going going through a look at timetables with them or going through their whatever, or they're just sitting there watching SpongeBob all day or Disney Channel all day or whatever all day. The parents aren't working. The money soon run out. The money soon finish, and they're going to wonder where they're going to get more money from to pay all these bills. People are going to start getting upset. And then on top of that, husband and wife will start to get on each other's nerves. Brother and sister will start to get on each other's nerves. Parent and children will start to get in. Even the dog will soon start getting under each people's nerves. And then what will happen? Law and order is going to break down. It's going to break down. That is exactly what's going to happen. Listen, I ain't speaking foolishness. I'm speaking righteousness. That's what's coming out of my mouth. I guarantee you, unruly behavior, law and order is going to break down. I won't judge those people. I will judge the government. They probably want that to happen, but they are going to be sorely mistaken when people start storming the streets, tearing up the place, and maybe even eventually overthrowing the governments which put us in this situation in the first place. You know, if the borders with China were to have been shut down early, in Canada and in Europe and in Australia, and I mean, America did it early, but if it was shut down early in all these other places, this wouldn't have happened. Because now they're doing it already, even though they criticized it when Trump was doing it, now they're doing it themselves. Patriots, I'm getting annoyed. I'm getting very annoyed. You got all these people running up in stores, tearing down the store shelves, going after toilet paper, medicine, food. The shelves empty, look like Venezuelan supermarkets. I mean, this has gone on for too long. And I'm losing my patience here, and I'm losing my temper. And when I lose my temper, the insects outside don't dare to fly. Dogs don't piss when I lose my temper. And when the whole population begins to get riled up and hyperactive and restless because everything is closed down, people are now I'm telling you, I mean, I've even heard Trump musing about forcing people a nationwide lockdown. Now that's unconstitutional, and he'll get a big surprise, a rude surprise if he tries that. Same with Justin Trudeau in Canada. You can't just force people to lock up in their houses like that, and you will get a big surprise. And I'll start that surprise if you want it, and I'll tear up the government, and I'll tear up anybody who supports it too. That's a step too far. That is a real step too far. You can give money to terrorists. You can give money to other countries. You can allow natives to have poisonous drinking water. You can give $10 million to a terrorist. You can do all this sort of stuff. But the moment you start directly impacting my life and forcing me to stay in my house until you deem it's necessary because you want to keep me safe, listen, when the government says, I want to keep you safe, that's the moment you must run! Run into the bush! Run into the mountains! Run into the streams! Become a jaguar! Do not trust your government when they say they want to come and help you, because that means they want to control you. They did the same thing on 9/11. They do the same thing with the 2008 financial crisis. They did the same thing with all the gun shootings. Whenever there's a crisis, big or small, the government uses it as an opportunity to take more of our freedoms away and control us more and put us into even greater fear. And I ain't gonna play my part! So I dare the government to do what Italy and France and Spain has done, forcing everyone to stay inside. I dare the government to do what San Francisco and NYC is doing. You notice it's all these liberal places, these socialistic controlled places. Italy, Spain. I mean, I don't know whatever happened to Italy's government. The 5-star movement, I had so much hope for them. Now they've went in cahoots with the socialists. They broke away from the nationalists, and now they went full-on socialist. I'm very disappointed. The Spaniards are run by socialists. The French are run by globalists. Canada fits a perfect example. It's run by a mixture of socialists and globalists. So I'm telling you, if this thing doesn't fix itself in the next few weeks, you're going to see Canadians nationwide being forced to stay in their homes. If you come out of your house, if you come off your property, if you even walk into the sidewalk, you're going to have RCMP men with big, huge guns pointed at you and your children, threatening to shoot you, blow your brains out unless you get your ass back inside. That's not the fucking place I want to live in! You watch! Y'all start stocking up on guns from Texas to Maine, from Nova Scotia to Nunavut. Start packing up on guns, not because social unruliness or law and order is going to break down, not because of those kids, no, but because the government is using this opportunity to its advantage, and we need to have a fighting chance. Bet your rascalot backside this virus I don't fear as much as I fear my government. And the people who are falling lockstep with the government. The people who are afraid. Yes, I understand you're afraid. But don't take your fear, don't make fear turn you into a government slave. Because I don't care about you if you want to do that, but you're going to affect other people. And then, of course, when they come out with their virus, their anti-coronavirus virus, these are going to be the same people who are going to shame others when they criticize the virus or tell them that this virus is going to destroy our immune system. Our bodies will be immune to the virus, and eventually we won't be able to go a week without getting sick, without getting the coronavirus vaccine. You watch. They're going to be the same people who say, oh, the media, the government and the media said the virus is safe. You must take it like a good slave, a good government slave. No! I'm not joking around here, man. I'm not joking. This is righteous talk I'm talking right now. This is righteous talk I'm talking right now. Don't walk away from this message. Don't walk away from this message. You're impertinent and rude. You must listen. This is for your own good. This is for your own freedom. The government doesn't have your interest at heart. Let us pray. Let us pray that God will have our backs. Because if God is with us, no one can stand against us. Let us pray that God will protect us from an overbearing, overpowering government that uses every crisis to its advantage to control its population, to keep itself in power. It's too tempting for any government official to avoid. Let us pray, pray, pray that we see ourselves through this with our freedoms intact. And I'll be fighting for them. And I'll bring you, if I have to bring you kicking and screaming. This is the Arana Nation.